Okay, on the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Deshaun Johnson, 24-00707.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Case Mark Herring, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Johnson, who is appearing via Zoom. We also do have, I believe, one other file before the court today.
I have 24-02649, and I also now have 24-02966. Okay, let's see. Okay, Mr. Johnson, give me just a moment.
All right.
I did, I just bought it, thank you.
Excuse me, sir. May you close the slot back? Thank you.
Okay, I have a new file that was just authorized today, Mr. Johnson, that I'm going to arraign you on. A misdemeanor complaint. It alleges that on or about the date ranges of February 10th, 2024 through February 22nd. It's a typo on here. It says 94, it should be 2024. That you did allegedly commit the acts on the date of offense of February 10th, 2024, count 1, retail fraud in the 3rd degree. Excuse me, and count 2, retail fraud 3rd degree on February 14th, 2024. Count 3, retail fraud 3rd degree, February 19th, 2024. Count 4, retail fraud 3rd degree, February 20th, 2024. Count 5, retail fraud 3rd degree, February 21st, 2024, and count 6, retail fraud 3rd degree, February 22nd, 2024. Each count reads that you did allegedly, while Mega Bev was open to the public, steal property of the store that was offered for a price at a sale of less than $200, and that this was contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.356 D4. It's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 93 days in jail for each count and or $500 in fines, or 3 times the value or difference in the price of the property stolen, obtained, or attempted to be obtained, whichever is greater. To impose a fine of 3 times the value, the defendant must admit to the amount, or it must be determined by a trier of fact at trial. Do you understand the charges read in counts 1 through 6 and the maximum penalty in each, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Sutter is representing you on other matters, and she's here today to represent you for the purposes of this arraignment and then a pretrial, because I believe there's going to be a global resolution offer. You have the right to proceed to trial in this matter, and you have the right to a jury trial. You can maintain your innocence, as you are presumed to be innocent until proven guilty, and you can require the prosecution prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You can waive your silence at trial if you'd like, or you can maintain silence. You can subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. And you have the right to see, hear, and question any other witnesses that the prosecution calls to testify against you. You understand each of those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you have a retail fraud 2nd degree that's also in 24-02649. And then we have the assault and battery, 2 counts and 24-00707. How are we proceeding, council?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, there has been a global resolution reached. If I may approach with the complete sheet.
Yes, thank you. Okay, it says the offers for the defendant to plead guilty to one count of assault and battery in 24-00707 SM and plead to an amended count one of retail fraud third degree in file number 24-02649 and pay restitution in the amount of $429. And that the defendant to plead to two counts of retail fraud third degree and 24-02966 with restitution of $168. Total restitution $568.29, and that there is a killer brew, or I'm sorry, there's no objection, that is to sentencing under HYTA. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor, just to be clear, it's $400.29 on the one file. I think you said $429 at first.
Oh, $400.29. That's accurate. Okay. Ms. Sutter.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is my understanding of the offer.
Okay. And Mr. Johnson, you understand the offer and the amount of restitution that's being sought?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to accept the offer, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, so you gotta understand the rights that I just advised you of as I was arraigning you. Those rights apply on each of these files. You have the right to trial on each file. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Do you want to give up your presumption of innocence, sir, and plead guilty in these files according to the plea offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand that that means you would also give up your right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. It also means you'll give up your right to see, hear, and question in court any of the witnesses that the prosecution was going to call to testify at your trial against you. And you're going to give up your right to call your own witnesses to trial and present evidence that you believe are defenses to these charges. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody threatening you to get you to give up your rights and enter a guilty plea today?
No, ma'am.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for you accepting this offer today?
No, ma'am.
Is he currently on probation?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current or future job?
Yes, ma'am.
It also could have impact on travel or immigration status that you may be seeking.
Yes, ma'am.
As to assault and battery, one count on 24-00707, how do you plead?
Plead guilty.
And then as to count one of retail fraud in the third degree and 24-02649, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And then as to count one and count two of retail fraud in the third degree and 24-02966, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm gonna start with file that ends in 707. Mr. Johnson. Is it true that on or about February 16th of 2024, you were present at 921 West Holmes Road, more commonly known as Kroger?
Yes, ma'am.
that in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, did you come into contact with an employee of that Kroger?
Yes, ma'am.
And during that contact, did you attempt or make offensive contact with that employee?
May you repeat that again for me?
Sure. Did you make an offensive contact or attempt to make an offensive contact or touching that was undesired by that Kroger employee?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was not done in self-defense, correct?
No, ma'am.
And I believe that satisfies and have you since come to know the name of that Kroger employee as Shania Rogers?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe it satisfies the factual basis in file ending 707.
Any questions from the prosecution on that file?
No, Your Honor, people are satisfied with the factual basis in 24-00707. I sent.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll next go to file ending in 2649 SM. Mr. Johnson, on or about June 8th of 2024, were you present at or near 1700 South Washington Ave, more commonly known as Speedwagon?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were present in that Speedwagon, did you take items that were available for sale to the public totaling an amount of $400.29?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Satisfies the factual basis in file ending in 2649 SM.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor, the people are satisfied with the factual basis in 24-02649.
Continue.
Thank you. In file number 24-02966 SM, Mr. Johnson, on or about the date ranges of February 10th through February 22nd of 2024, were you during that time frame present in or near 3630 South Cedar, more commonly known as Megabev?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan?
Yes, ma'am.
And during your visits to that Megabev in that time frame, did you take items that were available for sale to the public valuing $168?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis for file ending in 2966.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor, the people are satisfied with the factual basis in 24-02966. That's it.
The court is also satisfied with the factual basis that all accept your plea of finding plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will be set for sentencing. Your sentencing date's gonna be December 10th at 9 a.m. And you will need to meet with our probation department so they can provide the court with a pre-sentence interview, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Is in custody on these matters.
On one of these matters, Your Honor, no, I did want to, well, on both of these, actually, I want to address the court on bond if possible. Thank you, Your Honor. On file number 24-02649 SM, he currently has a $500 10% bond. I'm not asking the court to amend that. I mention it only because in file 24-00707 SM, he currently has a no bond hold. Set for him there. I would ask the court to put in place a bond that matches the other file. So there at least is a bond on this case for him.
Actually, need to put a bond in the new file too.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I need to put a bond in the new file as well, too.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may briefly make a request on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask the court to consider a personal recognizance bond on that file. I believe that Mr. Johnson intends to, if the court does set a bond on the 707 file, to post those that he can try and return to work and come in person and meet with probation. He has some apology letters, quite frankly, that he'd like to give to probation, but as the court, I consider a PR bond in the new file and matching 510% on the older two files.
Let me PRM my room, let me PRM on the other one.
I don't know if Your Honor would go that far. Quite frankly, I prefer it.
I have no objection, Your Honor.
Yeah, that was my expectation. I understand maybe he had a hold somewhere. Let me see here. Where's he living?
Mr. Johnson, do you have your address for the court?
I'm Rysdale, 32. Hold on, I have it right here.
You don't know?
No, I do, I have it right here. It's 3628 Rysdale Ave.
3628?
I'm in 28, my apologies, I'm in 26.
Is
my
it 36? It's 2628? Okay,
26,
that is the address
28.
that we have.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
what is your phone number?
517-993-1546. I have two phone numbers. The other one is 708-890-9137.
Okay. Okay, so what's your next court date? You remember? That's okay. Your brother remembers. So make sure you'll get here, correct? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
it's December 10th. So don't forget, and also, I'm gonna grant PR bonds on the files. You need to report to our probation department within 48 hours in person, okay? So
Yes,
you should be released, and then I'm gonna round it off to 3 o'clock. You need to come no later than 3 p.m. on Thursday to check in with probation so that they can schedule your pre-sentence interview, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Will I come down there?
Yes, they're on the 5th floor of City Hall.
Thank you.
You had a question too?
Since what you said about probation, I was saying he didn't know where it was. I was so sure because but you said it was here. I go.
You're probably circuit court. Yeah, he's gonna come to district court probation. They're on the 5th floor of this building, one floor down. And you gotta do it by Thursday, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, if I say something?
Yes. May.
I would just like to say, during the matters that I have been with these charges and the cases that I have going on, I would like to also thank you for holding me accountable for each and everything that I have done and putting me in incarceration, not just for me to wake up and understand my actions, but for me to also get myself together. So I do appreciate you for doing that, protecting the community and making sure that you're not just letting somebody back out there without the right head on their shoulders.
So I appreciate you taking this time to collect yourself and get into the right frame of mind. I think we knew early on that you were someone who could benefit from some community mental health interaction. And I don't think you were being compliant, which is probably what triggered you to spiral back here. But hopefully you're on track. Your family has been at all of your court dates. They want to see you outside. They want to see you out of trouble. And guess what? So do we. We don't want you back here with new cases. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so again, don't forget to report to probation within 48 hours so they can schedule your pre-sentence interview. And then after that pre-sentence interview is scheduled, you'll still have to come to have the interview. So don't forget that piece so that they can prepare the pre-sentence report before your sentencing. And then your sentencing is December 10th, and your brother's already calendared all this in his phone so he can remind you. Okay? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing from the people.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You can let the deputy know you're free to go.
What time? I'll go see my-
Okay, Khadidra Welton,
Yes, I'm here.
okay, let's see. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Khadidra Welton, 22-01978. Ms. Welton, today's the date that's scheduled for an arraignment on a probation violation. I think you had been on a term of non-reporting probation. And the allegation is that you have failed to complete a payment plan. That you allegedly failed to make payments within the last 24 months on the payment plan, and you have a large amount of restitution. So you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at that hearing. If you're found to be in violation of your probation status, I can revoke your probation and sentence you to a term of jail time. Or other sanctions can be imposed. Looks like you were scheduled to have completed your probation back in September. Did you want to request an attorney to represent you for the violation, ma'am?
Yes, if that would be okay. Thank you.
The court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf for the violation. And note that you are requesting court-appointed counsel, and we'll get someone on Zoom to meet with you in just a moment, okay? I'll set this for a
Okay, thank
hearing
you.
via Zoom.
October 22nd.
October 22nd at 1:30 is the date for the hearing, okay? Mr. Raleigh, you're gonna log in. Okay. Mr. Raleigh's gonna log in and meet with you in just a moment, okay? Do you have any questions at this time?
Oh, don't. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Let's Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Breeze Witherall to 1-02291, council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Casey Markarian appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Ms. Witherall, who is standing to my right.
Okay, Ms. Witherall. Today's date that was scheduled for hearing on a probation violation. And council, you said would not have a hearing?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, the allegations are that you failed to review orders of probation and you failed to report to probation within 48 hours from your release from Ingham County Jail. And you understand your right to have a hearing on this, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to waive your hearing? Or you want to have the hearing?
She's asking if you want to argue that the violation is untrue, or do you want to accept it as true? That's up to you. Well, so the violations for not reporting to probation, do you want to admit that is true, or would you like to argue to the court that it's not true?
It's true, Your Honor.
Do you believe it's true? Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Like directing you to waive your hearing and plead guilty to the violation? Any promises being made to you in exchange for a guilty plea today?
No, Your Honor.
As to the violation that you failed to review your orders of probation and failed to report to probation within 48 hours of your release from Ingham County Jail, how do you plead? Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Witherall, is it true that on February 27th of 2024, you underwent sentencing in front of Judge Simmons?
Yes.
And at that time, she ordered you to report to probation within 48 hours of your release, is that correct?
Yes, she did.
And did you fail to meet with probation within that 48 hours?
Yes, I did.
And Your Honor, I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor. People are satisfied with the factual basis.
We're satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea and find you to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. You're good, ma'am.
I honestly, real, I have a drug addiction, so like, when I first got out, the people I live with weren't the best candidates to live with, so I started using drugs again. I just, failed to want to report because I didn't want to got very. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, and so what are you doing now? Do you have other matters pending?
I'm sorry, what was
Do
that?
you have other matters pending?
Yes, I do. I have one case here. I'm ready to township for, breaking and entering. On my dwelling. I go to court on that on the 7th, and then, I have a PR bond for it on the 14th.
Counsel, you can address the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Witherall has correctly identified to the court that, yes, she does have one other pending matter that is set for a plea hearing on October 7th in front of the 55th District Court. Regarding the recommendation here, Mr. Neves has adopted a recommendation previously set by P.O. Dukoski. I don't believe there's any point in arguing the recommendation here, Your Honor. It is, at this point, I believe, a fair and reasonable recommendation regarding, what has been happening or rather not happening on probation here. Regarding the jail sentence, I believe Mr. Neves indicated someone communication with the court what he believes her credit to be. I think there's a correction to make there. I did receive, after inquiry with the Ingham County Jail, for incarceration history as well as the bond history here. At this stage, I believe, Your Honor, that she has served 86 days on this file, and I can provide the date ranges and bonds that I'm working on to get to that number.
I agree. She's always had a bond. She's never had PR on her
That's correct, Your Honor.
since 2021. And multiple failure to appears and multiple issues. Thinking this was a risk when we offered you probation, just because of the underlying substance use, your issues regarding housing, and then some mental health treatment that was needed. God bless. We'll give you credit, time served. Hopefully you can get the help you need so that you won't continue to cycle through this justice system, okay, ma'am? If you have any questions? There was a balance of 365 days and it's $365. I'm assuming that's because of oversight fees then.
I believe most of it is, Your Honor. I think she was put on term of 8 months of probation, so I don't know what the entire amount is, but the grand majority of it is.
Okay, $240 oversight fees is still a $75 crime victim rights and $50 statement on cost. I'll waive the oversight.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You still have to pay the 125, okay? You gotta pay that.
Did you hear a question?
Yeah.
She asked me when.
When I get there, so I have like, I live on exercise right here, but social security office and when that big account fixed, I didn't be able to pay that.
Oh, so you have a PR bond on your other matter though, correct?
Yes, yes.
So I'm gonna note that you'll make a payment within 30 days. And that's because that'll put the responsibility on you to come back in here and tell me what you can pay and I can adjust it. If you don't come in and make a payment or pay it full, what will happen is I have to issue a bench warrant. So it would be in your best interest to come in here once you're out and you got everything taken care of within the next 30 days. To let me know what you can or when you believe you can start payment and then I can go in here and adjust this, okay?
Yeah, I have a question. Where, like, I have learning disabilities too, so like when I have a problem, I don't have somebody to help me come where I need to go. Like, I'm not sure where I'm going, so it's like, this is the same place right here, and just coming here and.
Absolutely. You'll come right back here. We're in City Hall. We're on the 6th floor.
6th floor? Okay.
Yes.
If you want to just make a commitment, we think of windows, you want to run the body area, that's where you can. I'm gonna talk to the board about that. Come right back into this room.
Yep, you'll stop there regardless, because if you came in and you needed an extension because you don't have any money before the deadline, you'll go there, you'll let them know you need to talk to the judge because you need an extension. They'll let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right, do you have any questions? Okay, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.